Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. We are so close to finishing up this BMW underside overhaul, and you know, I just got started this morning just trying to get a jump start on the front brake pads and rotors, and my brake caliper piston, you know, push-in tool just broke on me. It just stripped. So I gotta run up to Harbor Freight, go grab a new one. So let's go to Harbor Freight. Alright, so I ended up going with the $60 kit instead of like the cheap one, like the single, you know, thing that I had before, because this thing has all these different attachments, which I've definitely needed for doing like rear calipers where they're the twist and push style. So yeah, this will definitely help. Just got back from BMW, and unfortunately there's only like 3 or 4 of them in the Phoenix area, and of course they're all about 45 minutes away. So drove like hour-and-a-half round trip for 4 screws, and for $7 worth of screws at that. So it is what it is. Got them. So I don't know if I mentioned it yet, but the rear trailing arm, or the rear control arms on this car, the rear camber arms technically, they are bent and they do not go together. So it looks like somebody tried towing them or something, like hooking a tow strap to them. So I don't have any other options right now because I got to get this car off the lift because I got some jobs coming the next day. So if I can just make these things go on for now, I will order some, you know, tonight, tomorrow, whenever, and I will get the rest of it cleaned up. So I was able to finally get this bolt on, and yeah, I know I'm missing the other side of the eccentric. I have it on order, the little washer on the back side. So I'll put that on when that shows up. But yeah, so this side, to get this bolt in, all I had to do was I unbolted all 3 diff bolts, the one there, and this front one. Obviously I've got my pull jack here helping me, so if you're doing this on the ground with jack stands, just use your floor jack. And all I did was just go up here. You can, you know, you can wiggle it by hand. So now I can just bolt this all back up. I can get this put up, and then from there I can start getting the rest of the little pieces put up. So I don't know if I also mentioned it, but the rear brake line right here on both sides, the fitting stripped. I think I mentioned that last video, so I don't feel comfortable trying to rethread that or, you know, cut it and make a new fitting. I've never done that before, so I may have to take it to somebody to get that done, so that way I can get the new brake lines on, because these lower ones are more what I'm concerned about. So I'm hoping that this fitting right here will, you know, come off with relative ease, and as long as that's okay, that's okay. So next up, yeah, get that arm finished up, and then we can raise the arms up and get to the coilover. So I was wrong. This is the height adjustment, and the preload is the cup on the spring. So yeah, I'll deal with that later. For now, I know I'm gonna have to raise the car because with these 18s, it's gonna be tucking super gnarly. I already test fit one of the wheels last night. So yeah, for now, let's just finish getting this thing all bolted up. Thankfully, this side had the whole drum set up here, or the shoe setup, so you can see there's the adjuster, there's the one spring, the shoe, and you can see the shoe is looking, you know, a little worse for wear, so it's a good thing I got a pair. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna just slap this together like I'm just doing normal brakes, and then when the shoes come in, because, you know, like I said, it's not gonna be here in time, I'm gonna put that side together first using this side as reference, and then I can take this side apart and do it. But in the meantime, let's just slap some new rotors and pads on here and clean this up a little bit. But other than that, dude, another step down, another one done. So cool beans. Oh, and thankfully, I got dirt on my face. Thankfully, I was able to get these lower brake lines broken free, so I can change those out. I was worried they were going to strip like the upper ones did, but we're good. The lower ones are worse for wear. The upper ones really aren't that bad of shape, so I don't have to worry about doing that right away. So I'm working on getting the coilovers bolted up in the rear right now. I'm having some trouble, so I gotta do some research. I don't fully understand how the preload works on these divorce setups, and I had to extend the shock cup up here on the shock itself or whatever, you know, a good 2.5 inches to get it to actually reach further in, or far enough down to bolt it to the hub. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna match the other side up to that height-wise, and then I'm gonna bring the car down a little bit, test fit the wheels, kind of see where they're floating in the air at, and that might give me a general idea. The suspension on these is definitely a little bit more tricky than the Hondas, at least for me since I'm new to this. So it's definitely going to take a little bit of tinkering around and figure it out. But I think we'll get there. So I'm going to go ahead, do the other side really quick and see if we can get something going. So I got the wheels all bolted up because I got the suspension matched on the rear, at least within, you know, a 1/16 of an inch or so. I'm just going to try and lower the car down really quick. I just want to see kind of what we're looking like. I can tell we're gonna have to raise the front coils probably by like a good 2 inches, because, you know, that's a tucker, whereas back there's a little bit of a gap, and I know the gap is going to be there for now while it's in the air because the suspension sags a little bit more in the rear because the, you know, the second spring setup or whatever it is. So yeah, I guess let's see what happens. Alright, so I attempted to get it off the lift, but, you know, the rear end is basically perfect. The legs of the lift are, you know, clear of it, so I can wiggle it around. And we got a good gap, just enough back here that I'm pretty honestly stoked with it. It looks ever so slightly higher on this side, so because of suspension travel, I may raise that side a little bit. I'm going to triple check because I got to put the car up in the air anyway because I got to add diff fluid. The front end, yeah, this thing definitely has to come up because it is way too low. The front arms are stuck and I don't like that rake, but it's starting to look like a real car again though. We're so close. Looking good though. All right, some final adjustments later. I raised the front, I want to say about 1.75 inches-ish. So now we're looking money. So we got just enough tuck right in there, and you know, we got the lift arm off the car. I did have to use the 2x4s to get the lift arms to wiggle, so, you know, we're still a little low for the, you know, my big old thick lift, but I think I'm pretty happy with this, at least for now while I have these 18s. When I do the 17s, we'll see how that looks. And I also have the stock 16s that I picked up for some, you know, some drift spares, but we'll see how it's kind of looking on the other size wheels. I know I'm not gonna, you know, adjust the ride height every time for the 16s to the 17s, but for now with these 18s, we're looking pretty money. So I did fill the diff, you guys see me do that, so yeah, I gotta check the list, see where we're at. So granted, I haven't marked this all off, so diff fluid, good, coilovers, good, brakes, good, camber arms, good. I had to jimmy those on, so torque the axle nut bolts, bleed the brakes, tighten the end links, and then snug up all the coilovers. So the issue is in the rear. I gotta disassemble the whole shock and drop the arm and pull the perch out and adjust the, or snug up the preload, you know, cup, but it is what it is. That's not gonna take more than, you know, 15-20 minutes, but I think I'm going to do that, snug up all the coilovers, make sure everything's tight, and then I'm pretty happy with how this is sitting. So that might wrap it up for the day, at least work-wise. Not for the video, you know, this video is still pretty fresh. So whatever, dude, we're getting there. We're really, really close. So good morning, next day now. Yeah, let me show you the revised list that we got for the BMW. We're almost there. Let me show you the list. Ignore the subframe. This is for EG or a Del. No, this is a Del Sol. I was repairing these two holes, but so this is the updated list. So I got some new engine mounts that showed up finally. So these are also garage-istic to go with the rest of the garage-istic bushings on the car. Thankfully, these look pretty easy. You can peer down. I already got the engine support on. You can pop down in there straight ahead with a wobble and an extension on both sides and get the top bolts. Crawl under, get those bottom ones pretty quick. So yeah, we got engine mounts. This is the power steering line that I need to change. This is that suction line that tore, so that'll be, you know, a quick 3-minute job. So engine mounts, water pump, and thermostat housing and hoses. That's gonna be the bigger one for the day. And then check the front coil sleeves because I don't know if I tightened them. The power steering line, fill the power steering, bleed the brakes, and then change the 3 fuel items. So that's it, the fuel, and then power steering and water pump. So I don't know if it's this way because I have headers, which I'm assuming it is because the factory headers are a little bit more slim, but I couldn't go from up top. I could barely get the socket broken free with a universal joint and a stubby, so I went from underneath, undid the ground cable, undid the bottom nut right there, and then I just took the 4 13mm bolts off the block and took the whole bracket out. And that makes it a little bit better anyway, because honestly I forgot the bottom nuts because they're sitting on the cowl right now. So go ahead, I'll finish unbolting this guy, plop the new one on. I don't think they're left and right specific. They don't seem to be. They just got, you know, your locating tab right there, so should be good to just slap it in and weasel itself back into place, hopefully. So I don't know if it's because the aftermarket headers don't fit, you know, the absolute greatest, or if it's because these engine mounts are just a little tiny bit taller, but they didn't fit. So I had to take the little shield off here. I'm leaving this heat shield to protect the mount itself. And yeah, I just drilled out these 4 rivets, well 3, yeah no 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I shaved down that a little bit, and then I shaved down right here to clearance the headers. So thankfully that shouldn't be, you know, anything messing with the structure. Should be safe. But had to mark this, should be good now. You can kind of see my paint mark up there. So now I should be able to get this in. I had it in just a minute ago, but I took it out to show you guys this and to rotate this a little bit more.
Chris has his content plus 18, right, Chris?
Well, technically, yeah.
Okay,
so I haven't updated the video in quite a bit. Other than for whatever reason, the car being extremely hard to roll right now. Everything else is done. Engine mounts are in. That was a little bit of a struggle. And then, yeah, rear end should be good. Sway bar endings are good up here. Lock the coil collars. Now we're just trying to get the cooling system stuff done really fast, but because it's super dirty rust water, I just want to take the garden hose and flush it out a little bit.
Oh, there it goes. Now it's adjusted. It was like kind of dark.
Oh.
What do you think, Alex?
It's great. You know, it's just going great.
Nice. Man's
has a little bit of deferred maintenance, but you know, now it's getting all of it all at once.
Oh,
yeah,
so
literally.
Well, now what do we do?
Just fucking like metal everywhere, you know what you say, something like.
Actually comes off. Oh, perfect. Came off kind of easy. Look at that splooge.
Goodness gracious.
So good.
Oh, that's so nasty.
It's probably like just RTV'd and
Everything else.
solid in there because of all the crap in the system.
So I don't have the system hooked up.
Damn it.
But
The words I'm a fan of.
that and paint, I'm just waiting for the fucking weather to break.
Holy crap.
Nasty.
Yeah. I don't know. The reason we're changing that, other than it being old and unknown, is this plastic bull crap. Gotta go.
Oh, yo.
Almost.
It's like perfectly going around you. Damn.
Turned out wrong You're a fool, Chris.
Nice.
I got a 12 and a 13 in here. I was hiding it from myself.
Dude. 4 guys, 1 beamer.
Huh. Wow.
He said, wow.
Dude.
Man has
Very
trauma.
enjoyable.
Hell yes.
This is the shit, dude. Underground 2 and all that, you know what I mean?
What he said.
That's a win.
Everything's okay.
Just the hardware for.
Yeah, this one doesn't have the wiggle valve at the top. Yeah, it's stupid. Swiss cheese that thing though.
Yo.
Who that?
That's Emily.
Hey.
Your hands in the waist, sir.
There you go. I just love his like really.
Ran into a little bit of a hiccup. Well, 2 hiccups. So like you guys saw, the radiator got busted. So thankfully we found one locally that we ordered it just before the cutoff time. So it's not gonna be for a couple hours though. But bigger problem at hand. My wheels don't fit now with the coilovers. They're 35 offset and stuff. So let me just show you. So you can see while we were trying to push it, it was binding up and I didn't know what it was. You can see it was hitting the shock body here, so it's only in the front. Yeah, which is kind of depressing. So thankfully, Mike, he's bringing his toe plates. He has some spacers. We're gonna just try those for now, and I'm gonna just have to either run those or get some different wheels. But yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm kind of liking these wheels a little bit more, but they are really heavy. So I think new wheels are, you know, in the plan anyway at some point. But yeah, so for now I just gotta run some spacers. It's just going to be a temporary thing until I get the lug stud conversion and get, you know, extended studs and all that stuff. Just for now. Get the car literally moving because right now it's kind of stuck. Okay, I ran into some more issues. Thought I had all the parts of the brake shoe stuff because we got the whole kit right here. We got the adjusters, shoes, springs, everything except the one side that was missing everything was also missing the lock adjustment, whatever piece you call it, that holds the e-brake cable in. So I got to order that, so the shoes are not getting done. And we got wheel spacers, but the wheel studs that I have don't fit. So now, yeah, we got other ones that are on the way. But in the meantime, we got some toe plates. Mike has toe plates, so we're just gonna get a rough alignment going, so that way I can at least more safely drive it down to the alignment shop when this is all done.
You're good. Nice.
Woo! Alright, so we got the alignment, you know, pretty much as good as we're gonna get it. So the measurements are dead nuts on it, like 170 millimeters side to side, front and back. But it just looks kind of towed out, but I think part of that's just, you know, the camber effect. And the camber is more or less even too, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, just gonna have to leave the rest of the alignment for the, you know, the alignment shop, but yeah. Okay. Just got back from running some errands. Got a new radiator, a new reservoir, and the little clips because the one broke that holds the radiator in place. So yeah, just more money thrown at the stupid car that I didn't need to spend, but I needed to spend. So now I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna put the cooling system back together really quick, and then that's pretty much all I can do. I don't have any brake fluid to add and flush the brakes at the moment. Still waiting on the fuel stuff. And now with the wheels, I gotta hopefully pick them up, the extended wheel stud or wheel bolts on the way home from Mike, and hopefully those work because I need to be able to at least roll the car, like I said, so I can get some work done on the lift. Dude, this is frustrating, but whatever. I'm gonna put this back together really quick and I'll show you guys and we'll wrap this video up. Finally put back together, so airbox is good, intake boot's good. I got the vacuum line or the water line on the left side of the throttle body right there. The right side one that's like right there, that goes way down and under the intake manifold, so that's gonna have to wait for, you know, the later date when I do the intake manifold stuff. But otherwise, we got the fan back on, we got the water pump on, we got the water pump pulley torqued down, we got the thermostat housing on, we got, you know, all the hoses up here, we got the new reservoir, new radiator, and the new radiator stays. So this thing is, you know, basically all I can do for the day, unfortunately. So with that, I'm gonna have to end the video here. I do apologize, guys. I really wanted to get this car driving in this video, but you know, just like when you're building cars, things happen, and in this case, quite a few things happen. So I gotta go home. I gotta pick up those extended wheel bolts on the way and hope for the best. Hopefully that gets the car rolling, and hopefully my fuel stuff shows up over the weekend, because other than that, I just gotta put brake fluid in it and this thing's driving. Yeah, just the fuel stuff and then the brake shoe in the rear, but I can drive without that shoe. I just don't have an e-brake until then. So yeah, we're so close. Fuel and brake fluid, and we're good. Anyways, guys, thanks for spending some time out of your day. I'm hot, I'm tired, I don't know what to say. Do what you love, think about the rest. Go pick up a shirt at velocityracefab.com. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.